If you're after that performance sound without the performance price tag for your 2019 and newer 5.3-liter powered Silverado or Sierra 1500 with the factory dual exhaust, then C&L's dual rear exit exhaust system is going to be the one for you. While making the old standby 5.3 Vortec in these trucks louder can be a fun exploit, it's also very easy to go overboard when it comes to sound and volume. But C&L's system brings you some great sound and quality at an equally great price. This does, of course, have more volume than your stock system, and accordingly, we're going to give this a solid 3 out of 5 on our loudness meter. Definitely going to be a step up from stock, and while your neighbors will definitely know what's up, it won't have them shaking their fists at you on a cold morning. Now this is a full catback system, so it will replace your factory muffler and resonator with this dual chamber suitcase style muffler right here. As you can hear from the clips at the beginning of the video, and as the resonance of this thing would substantiate, it is going to be noticeably louder than your stock muffler. However, the chamber design here means that you get the noise and better flow, but it's not too over the top. It's really not super loud, but even compared to the very quiet stock setup, this is going to be way different. As you heard from those clips at the start of the video though, what you do get is more aggressive. It gives these trucks a sound befitting a Chevy small block V8, and frankly, this is probably the kind of sound we all likely wish they had from the factory. And because you only have the one chambered muffler here, that means that this is going to flow better than your stock exhaust as well, which can make for an increase in power. Now, don't expect huge horsepower numbers here, but this is going to help your engine breathe a little bit better and reduce back pressure, which can unlock some more power, so you may feel it a bit more through the seat of your pants. Inside, of course, this all means that you will get more noise as well, so prepare yourself for a louder cabin. Again, as you heard from the clips at the start of the video, it is louder inside, but it still sounds good. You've got that nice burble and the good V8 lumpy undertone here, but you can still carry on a conversation or listen to music, so it's not going to be over the top like a straight pipe. It's really going to strike a nice balance of sound and volume. Now, from an aesthetic perspective, that's another place where this is a big step up from stock. You've got a pair of dual tips, and these are going to exit in the same location as your factory exhaust, straight out the back and tucked up into the bumper. Only these will ditch the tips that are not really tips in the bumper there in favor of these guys. Now these are going to sit nice and flush with the bumper, and they fill out the cutouts pretty well, but they look like proper exhaust tips because they are. And if you're going for the blacked out look with your build, these will help keep that theme going. It's a nice visual update, but like the sound, it's not too over the top, something that a keen-eyed enthusiast though will spot right away. Construction here is all 409 grade mandrel bent stainless steel. The piping is 3 inches going into the muffler and then 2.5 inches in diameter the rest of the way back. So this will again allow for some solid exhaust flow and some protection against rust and corrosion as well. Now 409 isn't going to offer quite as much protection as say a T304 stainless steel system, but it also doesn't come at the price of 304 stainless. It's going to still last you quite a long time though. The tips though, those are 304 stainless and they're finished in a high temp black coating, so the parts that you see get some extra protection. The muffler also has that same high temp coating as the tips for some additional protection, so this should last you a good long while. It's a good looking and sounding system, especially considering the price. Speaking of, this system will run you about $800, and that does actually make it a pretty affordable option, especially considering the sound and the materials. I think you're getting a good quality product for your money here. While it may not have huge fancy tips or switchable valves, you do get some great sound and a good look for a really reasonable price, and that makes it hard to argue with. Installation gets a 2 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and it should take you about 2 hours to complete the job. Like most exhausts, this is a pretty straightforward process. It's going to utilize all your factory exhaust hanger locations, so you don't need to make any permanent mods to the truck itself. Only thing to be aware of is that depending on your cab and bed size, you may either need to use the included extra extension pipe or make a cut to this main one right here. But that's detailed in the instructions, and you'll have a handy reference guide. Plus, we're going to talk you through everything step by step right now as we head on out to the shop.
For this install, you need a 3/8 impact and ratchet, 3/8 extension, 13 and 15 millimeter socket, 10 millimeter wrench, exhaust hanger tool, and also not shown be a lift and pole jack. All right, today we're going to be installing an exhaust on our Sierra. First, we're going to watch a quick video how to uninstall a stock system, then we'll come back here to install the new one.
All right guys, so we've got our truck in the air, and the first thing we're going to do is start at the tail section, and we're going to go ahead and unbolt this crossover pipe. So that's got a 2-bolt flange connecting it, so it's a 13 millimeter swivel socket and extension on our impact. We're going to fish that up in there, unbolt those 2 nuts, and then we can go ahead and remove the rear hanger and get this driver's side crossover tube out, and then we can move on to the rest of our system. So now we're going to come back to our tail section, and what we're going to do is remove this entire isolator instead of trying to get this out of the isolator. It's much easier to just go ahead and take this 15mm bolt out and remove this whole assembly as one piece, and then we can take it off once it's on the ground. So we'll grab our 15mm socket on our impact and go ahead and run that bolt out. Now we will need to support our tailpipe here while we go ahead and unbolt that. Now that we have that unbolted, we'll go ahead and unhook this from its locator. Twist that down. So now we've got our driver's side tailpipe in hand, and what we're going to do is push it towards the driver's side wheel here so to get it off of the two mounting studs on that flange, and then we're going to go ahead and drop it down and pull it back and go ahead and get it out. So like so. So now we can go ahead and start removing the main section of our catback. So what we're going to do is start at the ball flare clamp here at the end of our Y pipe, and we're going to go ahead and loosen that up. We're going to go ahead and remove the hangers as well, moving all the way back to the tailpipe, and then go ahead and remove the other rear hanger isolator just as we showed you on the driver's side with another 15mm bolt. We're going to go ahead and throw a pull jack under the muffler to help support the system while we do this. So now we can go ahead and grab our 13mm socket on our impact, loosen up this clamp, get it out of the way. This off here. And you just want to push this back far enough to where it doesn't interfere with your connection. So next we're going to go ahead and remove this hanger from the isolator. So we've got our hanger removal tool. We'll go ahead and pop that out. So now we've come to the rear of our system, and just like the other side, we're going to go ahead and pop this rear hanger isolator off, and then go ahead and remove the two mid hangers at the muffler, and then go ahead and remove our system. So we've got our 15mm socket on our ratchet. We'll go ahead and pop this off, work our way up to the middle two hangers, and then go ahead and pop those off. Got that out. Go ahead and remove that from its locator so it's out of the way. We can even take that all the way off right now. So now we've got our hanger removal tool. We'll go ahead and get these two muffler hangers off. And we've also got an extra set of hands. This is going to be very helpful to get this system off as it needs to kind of finagle around the differential and the cross member up front. Now you want to make sure you are supporting your system as you remove this last hanger. We'll go ahead and lower our pull jack. Get that out of the way. Then we'll have to slide our system to the side. Let's get it down. So now we're going to have to bring our system back a hair. You want to make sure you don't catch it on any lines or anything like that. So once you get your mid-pipe flange across your cross member, you can start to go back forward. Drop the front of your system down. And go ahead and feed your system out. So now that we have everything off, we'll go ahead and pull this last rear hanger isolator off from our driver's side one that we set aside earlier. We'll just go ahead and pop that right off and go ahead and set it aside.
All right, now for our factory tip here, we do have to remove this because our new exhaust has tips built in. There are 3 10mm bolts holding the back side of this. It's pretty tight, so we're going to be using a 10mm ratcheting wrench to get through the back side. So we're on the back side of our bumper here. On the top, you're going to see one 10mm bolt. We're going to get that off using our ratcheting wrench. Get that loose and off. Now that one's out of the way, we can actually pull down a little bit. Now you're gonna see one through here. Ours is missing on the other side. So we're just gonna have this one left here. I'm gonna take my ratcheting wrench and loosen that nut up in here. Probably not gonna be able to see this because it is jammed in between that frame here, but see if we can get that out by hand. Now, like I said, you would have to take the other one out on the other side there. Since we're missing ours, just gonna remove this altogether. So as you can see, we have the two up top here. Here's the one we're missing, and then the one that goes on the back side. So go ahead and remove all this, do the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna start here with our front inlet pipe over our flex pipe. We're gonna get this over our cross member onto our factory pipe. Just let that rest there, and then into our hanger right here. I have a pole jack here just to help hold everything up. Now we can get our extension pipe on. Now we're gonna put on our extension pipe. Now this is gonna be the longer of the two. As you can see, I have a 3-inch clamp over there. Just slide this on. Now since we don't have a crew cab long bed, we're only gonna use this extension and not the smaller one, so we can get our muffler on next. So I have our muffler here with another 3-inch clamp on it. Let's slide that over our extension pipe. Just let that rest there. So we're gonna continue along on our driver's side out of our muffler. As you can see, I have 2 clamps over the back. We're gonna get our over the axle pipe in our muffler, then in our hanger up here. And we can go ahead and continue with the passenger side. For passenger side, same thing, over the axle, into our muffler, and then we're going into this isolator right here. Continuing along on the passenger side here, as you can see, I have a clamp over. I'm gonna put our hanger that we took off. I'm gonna slide this into our over the axle pipe and then hook our hanger up here in place. Get this hooked up in place. And then we'll loosely thread in our 15mm bolt. So the same thing here on the driver's side. I have our hanger on there and a clamp. I'm gonna get this into our over the axle pipe. Get that slid on there and then hook our hanger up and thread in our 15mm bolt. So now we're gonna start tightening everything down, starting at the front, working our way backwards, adjusting as needed. So I grab my impact 13mm socket. We're gonna tighten our factory clamp down here. Moving further back, I'm gonna switch to our 15mm socket and tighten our first clamp here. Now for our muffler section, we've 1 in the front, 2 in the rear. This is all gonna be 15mm hardware. So impact 15mm socket, tighten them down. All right, further back on our passenger side here, we have our last clamp over here. Tighten this down. And then our last one over here on our driver's side. Tighten that down. Now at the back here, it's gonna be the same for either side. We're gonna tighten our bolt for our hanger and then get our tip installed. I'm gonna grab my ratchet, 15mm socket, tighten this bolt down. Gonna grab one of my tips with our clamp already over it, slide that over. Now you may need to come back and do some adjustment. This actually looks like pretty good placement. Grab our impact 15mm socket, tighten that down. Now you can go ahead and repeat the same thing on the other side. And that wraps up our install of our C&L Dual Exhaust System with black tips for a rear exit for our 2019 and newer 5.3 liter Silverado and Sierra 1500 with factory dual exhaust. And remember, for everything Sierra, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.